Taylor the Mercenary King here with Asha. This is another of the new trial decks, GTD12. She's a pretty good card, great design. I really do enjoy Asha. However, Nectar for some reason does not agree with me. And, well, when things don't agree with you, that's that. Come on. Fucking random ass place to put the tape. Anyway, let's just take a look at this real quick. Nectar is kind of an odd clan for them to support. Partly because they keep on trying to make it powerful, but the problem is it never seems to really catch on. Even in the recent stuff, you know, it's only showing up a little bit, rather than as much as Bushiroad might want. However, the stuff that they're getting was much needed. This is one of those clans that I like it how like all the cards are in fucking Japanese, but it's but some of these cards are like being released like in this trial deck. I didn't notice that before. This ain't bad. I think the royal one's better. By the way, the new art for Ultima is okay, but the new art for Asha is fan-fucking-tastic. Better than the original art, which is saying something. Nope. I never pull anything. Oh, that's alright. Let's see here. Ramunculus Flower Maiden Asha. Continuous Vanguard. All of your units get Continuous Vanguard Rearguard during your turn. If you have another unit with the same name as this unit, that unit gets plus 5k. This unit gets plus 5k. So basically, if you have a full deck of clones of each other, they give each other 5k. So it's like plus 10k to each column, in a way. Auto Vanguard, when your counterblast one unit, G unit strides, pay the cost for you, choose a rearguard, search for a copy of it, call it to rearguard, shuffle deck, and that unit gets plus 2k. Which is a pretty good ability, but the problem is the timing's so awkward for a lot of these things that it just ruins some combos. Interesting. That's interesting. Stand up, stand and draw. Stride, call, attack, guard, drive check, power calculation, damage check. Huh, I didn't notice that before. Anyway, Flower Princess of Faith Celine. Counterblast one is used place on Vanguard. Pay the cost for you. Choose one card from hand, call it to rearguard, and that unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. And the called unit has Bloom, Countercharge, and Soul Charge. Basically, this is to make Asha much better for a first stride. Honestly, running one of her will be pretty much required for a while. She is just like Verano, except I think she's a little bit better because she gives out power, but also countercharge, soul charge, so she pays for herself, and for the soul charge abilities, of which there are a couple. However, Verano, I think, will still see a bit more play than this one. Abundant Flower Maiden, Patricia, Bloom, Auto Vanguard, Rearguard, there we go. She is a cutie. When your other unit with same card name as this unit is placed on rearguard circle, this unit gets plus 6k until end of turn. You get 4 of them. This is actually a very playable card. However, I don't think it'll see much play just because there's some there's a bunch of other combos that people seem to be caring about more. Also, she does require, you know, another copy of her, and she doesn't do anything on Vanguard. But I really think she's a good budget card. Flora Nura Dragon. This is the same thing as the other fella from the, whatever. When your other, Auto Vanguard Rearguard GB1, when your other grade 2 or greater unit is placed on Rearguard from anywhere, this unit gets plus 3k. So you can get a lot of combos off, but it doesn't work on the same name thing like she does. 10ks. Hirotake Mojiro, who is a mushroom. This guy. Osmanthus Maiden Anelma. There's no maiden ofs in this build. It's annoying. Bloom Auto Rearguard GB1. When your other unit with the same name as this card is placed on Rearguard, choose up to 3 units and they get plus 2k. And if you have a Ramunculus Vanguard, this unit gets boost until end of turn. That's okay. Honestly, I do see some combos you can play with this build, but I don't much care for her too much because there are other things I like doing, especially with Hyacinth, Knight of Hyacinth or whatever her name is. Irrigating Maiden Ramona. Continuous rear during your turn if the number of other units to bloom with 2 or more, this unit gets plus 2k. And auto Rearguard GB1, counter last one. When this unit attack is a Vanguard, pay the cost, look at top 5, search for one card with Bloom, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Basically, this card works alone without needing copies of copies, but rather needs a bunch of Bloom cards, which is very easy to do. This is a playable build card. I do think I'll be playing this in my Bloom build, replacing Hyacinth Knight, but I like Hyacinth Knight, so I'm going to see what I can do. There's a bunch of different combos that we can pull off with these builds, and I'm just sort of investigating it to find what's my style. Ravishing Maiden, Penelope. She is a cutie. Like, so many of these things are just nice. Not this. Yeah, waifu material there. Birthing hips. Anyway, Ravishing Maiden, Penelope, Bloom, Auto, Rearguard. There's no G-Break, except right here. Soul Blast 1. With your other unit, same card name as this unit is placed on Rearguard, pay the cost. Choose 3 Rearguards. Until end of turn, they get 2k, plus 2k, and Auto, Rearguard, GB1. When this unit boosts a unit with Bloom, this unit gets plus 2k until end of battle. So basically, in a Bloom deck, this unit will get plus 4k when you put down a copy. And since you're obviously going to be running almost Best Girl. No. She's not Worst Girl, though. Monstera Knight is a 15k interceptor, by the way. This unit gets like plus 2k, plus 6k. So it's like 22k, which is a pretty decent number. And like if you put down 2 of them, that's like 26k. So, you know, it's one of those things where this card actually does a lot of work, and I'm thinking I'm going to enjoy it quite a bit. Crested Ibis Color Valkyrie Nelly. Continuous Rearguard during your turn. This unit gets plus 1k for every other copy of itself, which is meh. There's cards like that already, and this is just a reprint. Pistadio. I don't know. It's a perfect shield. Then this is a 9k booster for G-Break 1. Boosts the boosted. They also have a printing error. Oh, whatever. Anyway, Augury Maiden Ida. This is another really good starter. Forerunner Act Rearguard GB1. Counterblast 1, puts you into the soul. Choose a card from your drop zone. Put it in the bottom of the deck. And if that card has the Bloom ability, draw a card. And it will, more than likely. And the fact that it gets you a free draw off of it is really good. Act Rearguard. Tap this unit. Choose 2 of your units until end of turn. Those units will be regarded as having each other's names. So, even though it isn't an on-place, just the fact that there's a copy of itself running around somewhere will do work. Especially with, like, this. Like, let's say you can't stride and you're on GB2. You can just tap it and it's like, okay, these 2 are combo. Instant plus 5k to 2 units. That's really what you use it for. Or plus 10k to a column. And then you can use it to draw some. You know, it's just a nice card. Agave Knight, who really should be a musketeer. Let's not kid ourselves. Omero Apple, who is Worst Girl. That's right. Papa hates you. Pleading Maiden Elmire. The girl shall declare the awakening of spring. I know they're Japanese, but can't they at least get their periods right? Color Pixie Quitier. Heel Trigger, almost Best Girl. And then finally, Monkey Paw Dragon, who is Worst Dragon. Like, this is an ugly, ugly card. I don't like it. I don't like him at all. But having a Margle clone as a draw trigger is more useful than not. So it's like one of those things, we're going to play it, but we don't want to. I mean, okay, there's worse things. The Asha card, I really like it, like I do all of them. The art for this is fantastic. I saw the Japanese art thanks to Joe Vampatu. And it was pretty impressive to me then, too. I'm going to put this back. Overall, this deck is pretty good. I don't think it holds up as good as the Royals one overall. But I think that the cards in it will see more use guaranteed. Especially cards like Penelope and Ramona, and I guess Anelma if you're that kind. if you like that kind of Bloom deck. But Penelope for sure. Penelope for sure. For also... what was the other one? Anelma. No? Shoot, Ramona. There we go. Ramona as well. I think Ramona is like probably one of the best cards in these couple of trial decks. Sorcerer of Damascus is similar. So is Penelope and in certain specific decks. Like none of these decks seem to require Asha for anything. So it's more of a you know, it's more of a personality thing than anything else. Like, what do you want? Power or do you want draw? Like, I like draw in my build, so that's kind of what I'm going to go for this stuff. Let's see if I got. Nope. That's a pity. No such luck this time, guys. Oh, well. Anyway. I like card draw in these builds, just because having a lot of power does win games. But a lot of people have power, and a lot of people have draw, and a lot of people just have things that can sort of negate, you know, the powers and the things that you do here. There's sort of, I think this deck is weaker than this deck. However, I do think that some of the cards in here will have longer shelf lives than the cards in here. But then again, Tri 3 is coming in like 2 or 3 weeks. So, who knows what this stuff is going to look like. I like the Alfred stuff that's coming out. I do like the Bloom stuff that's coming out. I wish that there was Maiden of stuff coming out. But as I understand it, there isn't very much at all, or anything. I don't recall any Maiden of cards that I can be excited about or remember even. Yeah. Well, let's see here. Can't really think of anything else to talk about. Do like, comment, and subscribe. Imagine your goddess. Look forward to the May 20th tournament that we are going to be putting out eventually. You know, it's going to be real exciting if you can make it to St. Louis about that time. Really big prizes and stuff like that. More details to come. Well, let's see here. Have a great evening. This has been Wheeler the Mercenary King, signing off.